Now let's look at how to fade text. So what I've done here is on a text layer, I have used the text tool to draw out a shape and put some basic text in there. To fade text, we must turn the text into a symbol. So of course we go modify, convert to symbol, and I'll call this text page 1. Now I'm going to delete that off the stage, and I'm going to create a second example so that we can fade between the two of them. So this is now going to be text symbol number 2, and this is the second page of text for this demonstration. Once again, I'm going to select the text I've created, modify, convert to symbol, and this now becomes text page 2. If we go into our library, you can see our text page 1 and text page 2 are sitting here. So we can now go ahead and fade them in and out on the timeline. So what I'll do is clear the stage. We'll create 100 frames, right click and insert frames. Next we need to drag out our first text page, so I'm going to drag it and drop it into the middle of the stage like so. We have 100 frames that we need to create a motion tween on, so we'll now right click and create motion tween. We now have that blue indicator and we can begin to fade the text in. Now the way that we do this is in the properties panel for the symbol. So I've clicked on the text symbol number 1 and I'm going to go into my properties panel, and you'll see halfway down color effect and a style drop down. To make symbols transparent we use alpha. So when I drop down to alpha and I play with the slider, you'll see it fades the text in and out. So obviously alpha 0, it's invisible. Alpha 100, it's fully visible. Let's start at alpha 0. At frame 10, I want 100% alpha. So this will be a very fast fade in. Then we'll leave it at 100 alpha for 20 frames. Here I'm going to just go F6 to create another keyframe. And so this is our starting point for the fade out. So at frame 40, I'm going to click on the symbol and slide alpha down to 0. So we now have 4 keyframes. We have 0 alpha to begin with. Around frame 10 we have 100, and it remains fully visible for 20 frames. We created a keyframe here to start the fade out, and at frame 41 it's invisible. So now what we need to do is to create a new layer, and this now becomes text page 2. When this fades out, we want this second page of text to fade in. So let's create a keyframe, F6, and we're going to drop page 2 onto that keyframe. Drag and drop it into the middle. So you can now see we've faded in page 1, faded out page 1, and we need to do the same for our page 2 of text. How we do it is the exact same method. We click on the symbol. In the properties we find color effect and we choose alpha. When it's 0, it's invisible, and that begins our motion tween. Don't forget to right click and create a motion tween on the second page as well. So now let's keep it consistent. 10 frames in, we are going to click on the symbol and make alpha 100. Let's go 20 frames along, and we will F6, create a keyframe, and this is the beginning of the fade out. Jumping another 10 frames along, clicking on symbol, alpha 0, we have now successfully faded in page 1, faded out page 1, faded in page 2, and faded out page 2. Let's watch the final result. So a short summary. First of all, create pages as symbols. Second of all, use motion tweens and the alpha effect to fade in and out your text symbols.